What's happening? What's happening right now? Because he's all up on him.
He's right up on him.
Oh, you guys. Oh, won't you stay with me? Let's go non-toxic love.
Citizens of the Reject Nation, we continue the series of Heated Rivalry with Season 1, Episodes 3 and 4. Episodes 1 and 2 are already up on the channel. We are back with the real Rumi Aaron.
Hello.
And myself, Andrew Flash Gordon. As we do before every reaction, we like to check in, see how we are feeling. Aaron, how are we feeling today?
Feeling a little good. Feeling a little hot in the moment, but good overall. Excited, enjoying this show a lot. And yeah, thank you guys for all the people that wanted us to watch it, as well as Greg and John. We appreciate you guys, and I'm happy I finally get to be into the fold of what this Heated Rivalry is all about.
Yes.
Andrew, how are you doing?
And shout out to Olivia for suggesting this
Shout out to
show.
freaking Olivia,
nice
man.
job. And I understand why you were feeling hot. It's not just the setting of choice that is the heat that is in the building. It's what we're watching too. I'm doing well. I'm enjoying the show, so I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens throughout the next 2 block of episodes. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into this. So episode 3, season 1, commencing in a 3, a 2, and a 1. I hear Russian.
I want some ice cream bad, man.
Do you not find it weird that we're in a beach town in Russia in February talking about getting ice cream?
Yep, I did.
Winter Olympics, baby. So this should be right. Hey, isn't that?
Oh, yeah.
Hollander.
All right, so tonight we can do the men's short form figure skating, or?
My buddy Joe's in that program. We're training together. Would you guys be cool to do that? I'd love to show up for him.
Oh yeah, man.
Wait, didn't we already see this?
I know, but I think we're going to continue this scene after he leaves.
Oh, okay.
Brave for a dude to show up to a place like this and be like, "Hey, here's me." Russia is not safe for folks like that.
His buddy.
Athletes do not eat ice cream. You don't have those bodies like that and eat ice cream. Oh.
He's gay.
Is he?
Today's first period topic is the inevitable one for the Admirals. What has happened to Scott Hunter?
70 points last season.
Yes, and we're 6 games into this season.
This is one of the songs I put on the stories.
I can't imagine he's amazing in the room right now.
And he's already been announced as Team USA captain at the Olympics in Russia.
What?
Zone it out. Wow. Looks like he might be a big focus on this episode.
Yeah, the episode was called Hunter.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Good catch.
Strawn Berry.
Is he going to meet a fine young man here?
He's sleeping on the job. Dang it, Kip.
I am very sorry about that.
Truly not a big deal.
How may I help you?
If you're really sorry, you'll give me your number and your social media.
What's good?
Just a bunch of very decent smoothies with deeply stupid names. I mean, the best one's the blueberry one.
I love blueberry smoothies.
Just when I make it for myself in the morning, I add a banana.
Oh, so you're kind of wild.
It wouldn't be the first time somebody's told me that.
Oh.
They're flirting.
They certainly are.
I take that if it's okay to order off menu.
And technically, it was my idea, so I think we can get away with it this time.
Go to him.
Shout out, John. Looks like Josh Jamel, kind of.
Oh, you weren't kidding. It's really good.
Oh, yeah. The banana makes a big difference, I think.
I know. Guess it must.
Lots of flirting and subtext going on here.
That's way too much.
It's for you. It's a great smoothie. Thanks again, Kip.
Oh, the coworker there the whole time.
That's a fun reveal. That was Hunter.
Was that Scott Hunter?
Was that what?
Scott Hunter, the hockey player.
A girl.
2-1 for Anaheim. The Admirals.
This is what we're watching.
We barely get to see you because you're always working, but at least when we do, we get to watch hockey.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Quite welcome.
Okay, so Scott Hunter and Shane are on the same Olympic team, but they're not on the same American team.
Fuck both of you, okay? Kip is short for Christopher. It's both of you, okay? Kip is short for Christopher. It's not that weird.
It's
I
short
did not
for
either,
Christopher,
but
and please don't tell me
happy
you
to
use
be
that name on
educated.
your grad school application.
Oh my God.
I've never heard that before.
I did not either, but happy to be educated.
Sean, look right now.
Oh my God, okay.
Excited for Green Lantern show.
Me too.
It's all the smoothie.
Wow.
You get
He knows your name.
you get credit for that, Kip.
He scored a hat trick last night.
Are you asking me what that means, or are you just telling me something I already know?
That means he's coming in for another smoothie.
Yep.
Nice to see you again, Kip.
There he is. Said his name again.
You're Scott Hunter, right?
I am.
This is awesome.
I watched last night. Wow.
They flirting hard, Andrew.
When something goes right with my game, I try to repeat it.
Superstition. I get that as a sport, as an athlete.
Writing on the wall.
So I'd love another smoothie, please.
He said, I want that banana.
You really can't keep doing this.
I really can. See you next game day, I hope.
Dude.
Girl. Sorry I'm late.
No outside food or drink.
Off, Kyle.
This is fascinating, taking the story perspective right now in this angle.
Yeah.
Off of Hollander and Ilya.
You're still coming with me to that fundraiser, though, right? Because I am not looking for a date.
But I'm invested.
Same, immediately.
Could you please listen to me?
Kyle, remote. Extra shrimp.
Thank you.
Our man's.
When's his next home game? Come on, if you don't know when his next home game is, how are you going to plan your next shift?
I don't plan my shifts. I just
Gobble up as many as I can.
They play at home again on Saturday. Are you working?
He's gonna say I am now.
no.
Fix that.
Or you could just hang around the shop. Oh, there he is.
Kip.
Hey.
Well, it's nice to see you.
Come on, it's so obvious. That I can't even deny it.
Yeah, but there
Put
is
your
the
number on the cup, dog.
He's a very famous athlete, and there's the fear of rejection.
That's true. That's true.
May I drink this here? I've got some emails to answer, so I thought.
Yeah, you totally may.
The look back is very telling, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried about breaking your routine?
No, I'm not actually that obsessive. Turns out I'm too lazy to be a serial killer. A serial killer is someone who kills multiple people, minimum 3, but over a period of time, not all at once.
Period of time, yeah.
How do you know that?
I read a lot of murder books.
It's the psychology of it. I'm fascinated.
Well, I've read some things about athletes.
Okay, before you say anything else, yes, I agree, and yes, there are at least 2 guys on my team that possibly off the record, yes, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what? No left sock, right sock, stop shaving, no all that stuff?
Oh, no, yeah, all of that. But that's not CTE stuff, that's just science.
And just to be clear, I'm not complaining about the whole stop shaving thing. I mean, you all look like hot lumberjacks by the end of May.
Oh, it's like that was a revealing comment. How do I respond?
Do you want to come to my game tonight?
Oh, Andrew?
Man, that's crazy. Thank you.
Super happy to do it.
You sure?
I'm sure.
These are better than my company seats. You know, weird first date, but I think I'm into this. Oh, wow.
That wasn't to me. That was...
He just nodded at you.
Love how he's trying to deny the obvious.
Wait back for sake.
Good job. I love you.
Oh, we're going back to our guys.
Yeah, intertwining because they're playing against Ilya.
Too bad you can't play at home every night, right? It's better for you, huh?
Go yourself, frozen off.
It's more fun if you're there.
Ha.
Day later.
Oh, versus Hollander now.
Hope next time we play, you decide to show up.
Cheap.
True.
Starting to sound like him.
I'm sorry, what?
Rosenhoff.
You fucking heard me, Hollander.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Well, there's something you're...
Ooh, fighting, hockey.
I'm proud of your hustle. You gonna get that scholarship anyway, so?
Please, no jinxing me.
No way. Good night.
Oh. What just happened? Oh, overslept.
What's your problem?
I can't find my black suit and I have to leave so soon.
Okay, well, it's with the dry cleaning in my closet. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
There's one ripped barista.
Got to be in shape to pour that coffee and the smoothies.
Yeah, man.
Is that Hunter? Is that Hunter?
Oh, you're a mess.
It's okay, it's not my only tux.
Oh, of all people.
Sean, please don't fire me.
No one is firing you. Just calm down and get your shit together, okay?
Okay.
I know you need the money, baby.
Oh, such a supportive friend.
Exhale.
Yeah, his heart is probably just racing right now.
Yeah.
Oh, gave him the wing.
Oh, shit.
Hey, I am so sorry about earlier.
That woman is horrible, and I'm the one who should apologize. I was standing right in front of the kitchen door like an idiot.
No, I'm the idiot.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I have to.
Do you like Mexican food?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not a serial killer.
Nice callback.
Do you have the time to grab a bite with me, like when this thing is over?
Tonight.
Yeah.
With you.
Wow. Yeah.
No, by yourself.
You don't mind waiting till I'm done?
Not even a little.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. I like our other storyline, but I feel like this drew me in quicker.
That's really good.
That's a long line. We also don't actually have to do this.
How would you feel about ordering in?
Ooh.
Damn, this is a sick ass place.
Oh my god, with the fireplace and the
why didn't I
couches?
make it in professional sports?
This is insane.
Do you want a full tour now, or?
Epicor.
All right, who's more in shape? Did you guys order food yet? I think they're having the 5-course meal right now.
Yes, they are.
This is the entree.
Wow, you are so beautiful.
You know what was interesting, dude? He said, remember when Hollander, it was episode 1 or 2, when Hollander and him and Shane, or Hollander and Ilya were at the hotel room? They're like, I don't want Hunter to hear this. It's like, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't know, but he might have said, can I join in?
Their relationship, I know it's just their first time. It feels less toxic than the other one.
I still like the other one a lot.
No,
though,
I do. I like
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
relationship.
I hear what you're saying, though. I totally feel you.
What are you doing?
I didn't want to wake you, and I just thought since you have your game tomorrow, and...
Is he saying stay? Is he telling him to stay?
Can you stay?
Oh, you guys. Oh, won't you stay with me?
But on one condition, you have to make me a blueberry smoothie with a banana.
In the morning.
Yes.
Let's go non-toxic love.
Oh, please tell me he didn't leave. Please, Aaron.
Did you leave him? Maybe he had to go to work.
Yeah, but I feel like you... Oh, is he
He's
making
making him a
blueberry
smoothie! He's making him a smoothie! Ah,
He did.
But do you have banana? He does have banana.
He's a professional athlete. They have everything, Aaron.
Okay, I meant to surprise you, and I was going to go out and get stuff, but I looked in your fridge and you basically had all the ingredients.
The professional athletes have everything.
And I thought, since I'm not working today, but you still have your game, that you'd probably still want you.
Oh, hello.
Can I you?
Absolutely.
Get yourself a significant other who knows you like this without having to say anything and will make you what you want in the morning.
That part.
I should probably go.
What a contrast to our other relationship we're seeing.
What if you didn't?
Whoa.
Go? Like ever?
Yeah, just stay forever.
All that serial killer talk was you warning me, wasn't it?
Oh my God, imagine if the show went dark and did that shit.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I'm gonna say a bunch of things, okay? I know I'm too intense. Everyone tells me that, but I can't help it. Is it okay? Can I be too intense?
Yeah.
I love you.
I never do this. I've never brought anyone back here. My life is complicated.
Yeah, I get that.
And I can't,
No one can know.
too many people depend on me for too much, and it would fuck everything up.
Oh, that sucks that you feel that way.
It's just, I want you so bad. And I know that you barely know me, so why would you even consider something this? I know I'm fucked up, I get it. I'm not pretending I'm not, but I really, really like you. And I want you to stay.
Oh,
That was really heartfelt.
that's so sweet.
And I want you to be here when I come home from my game tonight. I want you more than I've wanted anything in a long time.
I think I'd love to be here when you get back.
Oh.
And I don't think you're too lazy to be a serial killer.
Hey,
You just moved in with him?
how was practice?
His house husband?
This is how practice was.
Mm-hmm.
Let me reenact it for you. Go over the playbook.
With Elena, Dad. I'm staying with Elena.
Oh.
So I don't
Dad
have
doesn't
to
know
schlep
either.
to work. I get to sleep in an extra
Well,
hour.
yeah, because he has to keep it I mean, Hunter just said they have to keep it a secret.
But I'm talking about the fact that he's even not out of the closet.
Right.
Oh my god, guys, he's a customer. He's not my boyfriend. I don't have a fucking boyfriend.
How would you classify this relationship? Friends with benefits.
Secret boyfriend.
Morning, Scott.
Morning, Kip. The usual, please.
You guys have a back room here?
Not sure what I'm going to do without these on my road trip.
I'm pretty sure they have smoothies in other cities.
Not like these, they don't.
Oh, dude, I love the subtle subtexts.
What's that?
It's an artist I love. He has a new show out.
Oh, cool.
Let's go see it.
What? Hey, I'm not just a pretty face either.
No. You're also a very, very hot body.
Hey. Oh, he's got to go incognito.
Yeah.
We don't have to do this.
You don't gotta be incognito. You can just be two homies who want to see some art.
I
No
mean,
one's gonna assume that you're gay.
Yeah. I mean, literally, what if it was just his friend and they were going to see art, right? It's not a big deal.
Amazing, isn't it? So are you
Here's the
two
toxic part.
just browsing or shopping to buy? Or...
Oh, I think we're just browsing right now. Thank you.
Excuse me.
I'm not with him. I don't know him.
Sorry, he's not feeling well.
No problem.
The problem, dog.
Gonna have a panic attack.
I'm really sorry. I thought I could do that. I really thought I could. I wanted to. I just... It's okay.
Oh, I appreciate that he's being understanding about it. It's not an excuse, but I get that he's in a profession where it's ostracized.
But I think he feels like his life is ruined or changed forever if he comes out.
These road trips are just killing me. I mean, it's brutal.
Dude, this place is so sick.
Would you be jealous if I got my smoothies from some other guy?
Maybe. Probably.
Well, what if I filled you in on all the juicy details, like how he blended them?
Or what if you always kind of had one with you?
What do you mean?
Forever smoothie?
Hey, I know it's dumb. But I saw them at a bodega and I thought they looked like your smoothie.
Aww.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
But you love him. Oh, he's wearing the socks.
Somebody gonna notice those socks and say something?
Hunter hasn't scored twice in an away game since last season.
It's the socks.
What?
Say it out loud.
Say what?
Admit it, you're dating.
Here's what I know.
Helena.
Shut up. You're in love with him.
I'm not in love with him.
You are.
I'm in lust with him.
Have you at least told your dad?
He has not told his dad.
Anyone finds out that it's...
Let it, Scott. Obviously, I'm not going to tell anyone, but...
He can't come out right now, okay? He really wants to. I've never been happier.
Oh.
You could be happier if you can be in public and be free.
What does your dad think?
That I'm fucking some married guy, probably.
His dad does know
Oh, so
he's
his
gay.
dad does not. I had a feeling his dad did know.
Scott's gonna be there tomorrow night, too.
Oh, I know. And you better be ready for me.
Oh. That's the picture he took in the locker room.
Yeah. Oh.
What's the surprise?
Hey, Dad.
Oh my God, you're not dead.
Yeah.
No, I'm alive.
Really hope he is not a serial. I mean, there's a lot of hints of serial killers.
You gonna be making an appearance here at some point in the near future, or?
Yes, I will.
He's been coming home lately.
And nothing in the mail, right?
Kip, if there was something in the mail, I would not have forgotten about it.
Application.
Don't think about that, okay? It's gonna come when it comes. Look, I'm not gonna keep you. I love you.
Got a nice wholesome relationship with his father.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Nothing bad ever happened to this dad. He's so sweet. What did he do?
What's the surprise?
What's this?
For my man.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He's here.
You need to chill out.
Can I have some of yours?
Excuse me, gentlemen. I think I spotted an old friend.
You know your parents would be so proud of you, right? Your mom especially. She would have just been thrilled.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks.
His mom would have been thrilled. Interesting.
Kip, right?
Christopher, when he's all dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
You look beautiful. You both do.
Oh, Sly.
Are you enjoying the evening?
I am. Are you?
Looking forward to the after party, honestly.
Hey.
You okay?
Elena knows. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, kind of got that.
She kind of figured it out, and I guess I had to tell someone.
It's okay. Really.
Like I said, dude, when you bottle in feelings like that,
it's gonna pour out.
And he didn't like just say it. She got it out of him. Yeah.
I want to dance.
Elena's a killer.
But not a serial killer.
Is she a
How
spree
could I
killer, though?
possibly Say no.
Could be.
So, what are your intentions with my kid?
Oh.
He's crazy about you.
I'm crazy about him too.
He's also miserable. Are you miserable too?
No,
Don't do that. Don't get all in a pot of their relationship.
I've been honest.
I know. And he's so in love with you that he'll put up with it. But it's killing him.
You gotta come out, Hunter. Be brave.
I'm not saying any of this to be mean. I'm really not. And you seem great. But he's great too. He deserves the best.
The limo driver could know.
I'm sure they have to, like, maybe they sign non-disclosure agreements and they're not allowed to say anything.
The limo
So
drivers see all kind of things, so
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
And so do you.
You deserve to be loved out loud.
Curious if he does come out, like what
It's
the
my
repercussions
birthday
are
on
going to be, and then when like it's a prerequisite for Ilya and Shane.
I think they got more problems outside of coming out, though.
A couple of my friends are throwing me just like a little party there. It's not even really a party. It's just hanging out or whatever. It's a gay bar. It's honestly more of a hockey bar now, thanks to me.
You can't.
And I was thinking that you could just come as my friend. I mean, Maria knows, my friend Sean knows. They know that you buy smoothies from me.
It's too hard for him. He can't do it.
I can't do that.
It's not fair, man.
I want
but
to
you
tell
also can't
everyone.
force
I
it,
want
too,
people
if
to know
he's
in their
not
mind that I love you. I love you too.
Is that the first time saying?
Soon, maybe.
I think so.
In a few years. I know how it sounds, but it'll go by quickly. I promise. And then we can be normal.
He did say that in their first conversation that this is how it was going to be. He was very direct.
I know that they're your family and that you feel responsible for them, and I get that. I keep lying to them, and I don't want to.
I get his perspective, too.
I miss my dad. Sorry, that's not what I meant.
It's okay. I know what you meant.
I don't know why with the...
I'm gonna go home tonight. I need to.
This feels sad, but the lack of music makes it feel a little ominous, too.
For those of you who've attended before, feel free to ignore my sob story and go straight to the bar.
We're cutting back to the speech. Okay.
Yeah, non-linear.
My parents were both junior hockey coaches, and they were hit by a drunk driver when I was 12 years old.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Shit.
Died instantly. Mercifully for me, the St. Thomas scholarships existed. I didn't have anybody else to help me. A huge hole in my heart. St. Thomas filled it with hope. Things weren't always easy. In hockey, I found what I was missing. The family I craved, the family that I needed, that I still need today. Hockey gave it to me, and St. Thomas gave me hockey.
Love that's cutting back and forth, the kip.
I want to thank you all for being here tonight and for supporting this cause, because it's not just a scholarship, it's everything that comes with it. It's a whole world.
That's sad.
The prodigal son returned home. Look, I got some mail here for a certain someone, and it's pretty heavy.
Oh, the application?
My boy, come here. What's up?
I'm sorry.
For what? You got nothing to be sorry for, silly.
Their values aren't aligned.
Looking at the life he could have with him. Right, we've been here already in episode 2.
Yeah, we're coming back to the beginning.
Good dress, man. It's a gold medal fucking game.
Yeah, totally.
Banana socks? Oh.
He has to hide the socks under his other socks. That's him hiding his identity. Yeah.
Like a facade. Oh, man.
Oh, sad, man.
Great episode. All right, starting in 1, a 2, and a 3, episode 4.
Having a good night? That's nice. Think there's still time for a hat trick.
Hey.
Should I do now or wait till last second? Because, I don't know, last second is more fun. But...
Damn. Might get to 50 goals tonight. Professional athletes love to run. That's how they get those abs.
You've been with this girl for years, man.
Damn.
Throwing it back.
And show me that label.
I know you said Keanu Reeves, but there's another actor he reminds me of. I just can't pinpoint it.
Not wholly Keanu Reeves. I just see some of him
No,
in there.
no. I've heard, like I said, Devil's Advocate. I can really see it. I feel like there's another one I'm missing. Was that the last time we saw them together?
No.
Oh, this is leading up to that last time, I think, right?
Metros are hoisting the MLH Cup. What a feeling it must be for Captain Shane Hollander.
Damn, it's been 7 years since we started the show.
With a 7-year on-again, off-again relationship.
Oh.
Another girl just strings him along. He deserves better.
Great, Shane. Look over your shoulder. You look great, okay?
Not your meat puppet. Let's get the shot and get out of here. Just to remind me, Aaron, is this after their last encounter or is this before?
It's all after.
This is all after, okay.
Shane Hollander and the Montreal Metros are your MLH champions for the second year in
Damn.
a row.
Nicely done. Oh, that phone's finished, right?
I mean, I hope it'd be waterproof or liquid proof at that point.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know when Apple started doing that.
Oh, I love the competitive spirit and edge that these two get on with each other.
It is a heated rivalry.
It is. But being someone who's so into sports and like I would do this shit with my friends too. Especially when we knew we were gonna play each other, we would like go back and forth. I don't think we had text messages and cell phones at the time, but maybe we had IMs and stuff like that, but we would
yeah.
Dementia.
They did a great job of communicating that. He's just trying to cope because of these external factors going on in his life. Oh, he's not paying attention to her.
Damn.
You don't want her or her.
Purple. What color is a cucumber?
Imagine if that guy came out.
Okay, wow, that's the stuff.
That's cool imagery.
Yeah.
It's like they're in the upside down with lightning.
That's funny.
Oh, I had to make a Stranger Things reference. We didn't make one in episode 3.
That's true.
Montreal.
2016, dang.
Gotta visit one day the place where my father was born.
She's what? Pregnant? Jackie's pregnant. Again? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. You gotta work on your lying.
No, I mean a fourth kid. That's awesome, man.
2 more and you guys will be the Brady Bunch.
So when are you gonna join me in this nightmare?
Jeez, hey, you want to get me pregnant too? I don't think I'm ready. I think I still have some good hockey left in me.
Huh.
Was it Jennifer?
Jessica.
You ever hit that?
Don't say hit that.
Oh, sorry, Virgin Mary.
I'm not.
Let's go see Uncle Shane.
Oh.
Bring her around, you know? We do couple stuff. It'd be fun.
I don't see her anymore. I think she's engaged or something.
So, Jackie is this friend.
Ooh.
Dude, she's f***ing hot. She teaches, like, mommy yoga or something. I don't know, maybe it's just stretching, but she's seriously hot. And she's funny.
Swear jar 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
3.
I mean, children do absorb that stuff at that age.
Yeah,
Jackie will
true.
be happy.
You both have to make your wife happy now?
Yeah, damn right we do.
Excuse me, are you Shane Hollander? Can we get a picture with
Like,
you?
that's what my license says.
Kind of have my hands full at the moment.
Could you hold his baby for him, please, so we can get a picture?
Damn. They're on the same team. That's crazy.
Hold his baby.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I know, but people usually remember the superstars, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
You were the worst one!
Jeez.
Narc! I'm getting a vasectomy.
Way too late.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Shane Hollander's Fortress of Solitude.
Oh my God.
It's my
Jesus.
favorite place on earth.
Holy shit.
Я готова. Ну, может, ты решил, чтобы мы остались, чтобы смотреть неважно что?
Это такая скука, что я чуть не впал в кому.
Зато он действительно красавчик, да?
Speaking of hot, you are not bad yourself.
Ты с кем-то сейчас встречаешься?
Oh, maybe they're not together. Just friends with benefits as well.
Ревнуешь?
Ты же меня знаешь. То есть ничего серьезного?
Неа.
Даже не с Джейн? Что? Вы уже несколько лет переписываетесь. Я думала, может быть, это что-то серьезное или...
Ничего серьезного.
Окей. Саша передает привет.
Ooh, Sasha. Stay away from Sasha.
Please stay away from Sasha.
I'm heading out for a bit to meet a friend.
Nice.
It's not like that. It's just a friend.
So, Lily's just a buddy?
Hey.
Chill out, man. I know you text some girl named Lily.
I don't.
Okay, go get laid, weirdo.
My assumptions, I'm guessing they're in Boston.
Did you get this built, or do you know who did? You think we need to talk?
No, after.
Not a lot of talking in this relationship, whereas in
The other one there is.
yeah, the other one there's a lot.
I should go.
Or you could stay.
Told Hayden.
Who cares what you told Hayden?
Hayden knows you're with Lily. You're good. Told you to get laid. This is the first time he's really asked you to stay with them.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a change.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever seen them sleeping together.
This is true.
I'm hungry. For what? For food. You know this guy, Ryan Price?
You did a season with him, right?
He's not what you would think. Like, he's quiet, doesn't talk.
Very reserved.
Not bad guy, doesn't make friends.
Well, he gets traded every season. Tough to make friends that way.
Buffalo is terrible.
Yeah, and their team sucks too.
And people say you're not funny.
Who says that?
Me.
What's your favorite city to play in on the
Montreal.
I like New York, because...
Oh, it's where Hunter...
They fucking hate you there.
They hate you everywhere.
You know, not Florida. He's full of Boston people.
Huh.
And you?
I like Ottawa. 'cause
Boston.
It's my hometown. What? Those boring answers?
Yes.
Well, I like the hot places too. Hot like weather hot.
There is a girl I like here very much, Svetlana. She's old friend from Russia. She knows everything about hockey.
She does. It was really hot the way she was describing.
And she likes you very much.
That's nice.
We're gonna do a little menage a trois.
So she's like your girlfriend?
She's old friend. Sometimes we but...
Sounds perfect for you.
Yes, it's close to that.
You can see how this kind of hurts him. He's a little jealous of it.
But it's nothing more than that, or either of us.
You think she's the only woman in Boston who'd sleep with you?
I think I will find someone else.
So they're rivals with benefits? I'm like, I don't know if I can call them friends exactly.
You like them?
They make good friends.
Girls.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course I do.
I never heard about you with girls.
It's private.
So no.
I like girls.
Yeah, no shit.
But I also like you.
Lucky me.
Not this person, of course. Здравствуй, папа. Да, я получил твое сообщение. Я тебе ответил, папа. Мы говорили вчера. Где Алексей? Мой брат Алексей.
Oh, he doesn't remember.
Полина там? Полина, она твоя жена, папа. Папа, хорошо.
Oh, yeah, people with dementia do get like, frustrated and angry.
He should not be alone.
Я ему позвоню. Где ты? Попади, он психует. Я тебе оплачу, что ты был там с ним, сволочь.
That's why he pays him. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, I don't think it was like that originally, but I think it's become that.
How's your father?
Oh, he speaks Russian now.
I speak Russian now.
I know the word for father.
Oh, they're gonna cuddle. Hollanders in their relationships definitely the more, I guess, quote unquote, feminine of the two. Clearly wants something more without wanting to say it. He's more like distant and casual and.
Hell yeah.
And he called him vice versa. When you know we're getting to a harmonious place in the relationship when we're calling each other by the first name.
We should go.
Go.
Team meeting in the morning. I forgot.
Okay, you forgot team meeting.
I can't do this. I'm sorry.
It's confusing for him.
Honey, have you decided about Wimbledon?
I want to go to Wimbledon so bad.
It's really
US
want
Open.
there. Well, you certainly love the money, and they're great seats. I mean, they're next to a prince.
It's an American
no, actually, a Swedish princess.
But they do have a Grand Slam.
Meeting a Swedish princess could be fun, right?
I get like 2 weeks off a year. I don't want to spend it next to someone I don't know.
Can I get anyone a drink? We'll take this Chablis.
I'll get a vodka. It's a Russian drink.
We don't have that. Sparkling water?
Sure, thank you.
I'm sure you could have a glass of wine if that's what you want.
No, I can't. Not during the season.
There is some tension here.
Sorry, I'm in a weird mood.
Anything you want to talk about?
She has to suppress so much, man.
I'm just gonna use the washroom.
Swedish princess?
Oh, so conflicting. I want to say it's the same thing with what Kip was going through, just keeping everything contained and within.
Hollander, what's up? My buddy François, the chef, you remember him? He's having an after-hours thing at his restaurant, and get this, the cast of the X Squad movie they're filming in town is here.
Yeah, let's go.
How is X Squad?
All of them?
I don't fucking
Maybe
know. Get down here.
like the James Gunn, David Ayer films, a different name for those.
Okay, guys, this one never leaves this fucking house.
Do you have any ginger ale?
I mean, I do, but...
Oh, it's gonna be somebody else?
Shane Hollander can have whatever he wants here.
Oh, he's definitely going home with him tonight. Selling the house.
It's an honor.
When you're rich and famous, Aaron, you don't have to pay for anything. Everything's on the house.
I've heard.
Rose Landry's here, man.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Are you here to help me finish these fries?
Oh,
Jesus Christ, these are so good. I'm Rose, by the way.
I think it's Rose Landry.
Big fan.
So am
Be
I.
surprised to know that I'm a fan of yours.
Eh.
Have a fry, Shane Hollander. Troy's not gonna go easy on you tomorrow night.
They were gonna go home together. Like just because he feels the pressure and like the Swedish.
Maybe this is the test for him to see if he's bi or if he's just gay.
I was 8. I played this girl who gets kidnapped and held for ransom.
Wow.
By Bill Paxton.
I know him.
Oh, R.I.P. Bill.
I've been kidnapped in no less than 4 movies.
But did Liam Neeson save you in any of those movies?
They literally have me murdered if they find out I told you.
Kevin Feige's got a sniper somewhere.
Okay, your turn. Paint me a picture.
Well, I'm definitely on the ice somewhere, probably just having fun.
Playing on a little league team called the Mighty Ducks.
Did it stop being fun? I bet that being the only Asian kid didn't make it less intense.
I wasn't the only one. There was one other.
I did not realize he was Asian.
Yeah, you see it in his mom.
This isn't your first time in Montreal, though.
I was here a few years ago shooting this FBI movie.
Underdark?
No, that movie is so bad.
It's not great.
Don't say that to someone.
No, you're good.
That's better. Say you were great in the movie.
Here for a week and it was the summer.
Kind of different into winter, though, right?
Michigan, remember? Your winter doesn't scare me.
You know what show was shot in Canada, Aaron?
So, are you gonna be in town a little while this time?
Oh.
Okay. They going home together?
Love the imagery with the snow in the background. It's really cool.
The contrast of the green in the background with the brown on the inside.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. It's just experimental for him, but I think she might fall hard for him.
Roz, you gotta see this. You're gonna shit, man.
Not Hollander. It's not Hollander. Oh shit! I had a feeling it was that.
The two met at a mutual friend's party, according to unnamed sources. I've never seen Rose this happy, the source goes on to say.
Oh.
Now you're all jelly, aren't you? He's like, no!
And there's Rose Landry wearing a Shane Hollander jersey. That's going to upset some Detroit fans.
It's like she's Taylor Swift, Aaron. Wonder if Greg made that comment in this episode.
The star seems quite happy to let tongues wag about her new love, as long as he doesn't spoil anything about the highly anticipated X Squad sequel.
Damn,
he's salty. He's been just so available for him on the ready for all these years, and now he's not. He's all mad about it.
Oh.
That's what you get, fool.
Still jockeying for the top
Oh, Boston versus Montreal now, or?
Shane Hollander and the Montreal Metros will look to put some distance tonight between themselves and their arch rivals, the Boston Raiders.
Shit! Oh, he's gonna check him hard.
Oh, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight on the field.
Slash the ice.
I hope he doesn't cheat on her with him. Ooh. Now it's iPhone messages. Interesting.
I mean, we've seen the
progression
of time, so it makes sense. Technology's gotten better, right?
Actual Apple, or what we know it to be now.
Oh, this is personal.
The visiting Boston Raiders managed 4 shots on goal in the third period.
Montreal will take what they can get tonight, but where on the ice was Shane Hollander?
Yeah, he was just so conflicted in his own headspace.
I need to get laid. Let's go out. We find the fucking club. Tell people.
You know who this guy looks like a little bit? David Spade.
I can see it.
I mean, when you're this big of a superstar in sports, you, not to degrade anybody, but you can get laid pretty easily.
Yeah, fair.
Hi, handsome.
I was so scared for a sec. She was talking to Ilya. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
The way they framed it made it seem like that.
I don't know why. I was so
with the colors, it made it seem like that for sure.
Did you watch the game too?
Yeah, I watched a few clips on Rose's phone, but it was a sweaty blur.
Miles, don't be terrible.
I have no problem watching sweaty blurs.
But Ilya's there.
Okay, I want to
Oh.
dance. Come on, I never get to dance.
Okay, that is a lie.
Hey, I want to dance with Shane.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us.
Yeah, he said, I don't want to dance, and then he said liar. Or she said, I won't make you dance, and he said liar.
Can I have one more, please?
Oh, looking at Ilya.
Oh, Miles is looking at Ilya. That's going to get messy. He starts trying to hook up with the girlfriend's friend.
Yeah. So you know Hollander's going to hear about it. Yep. Dude, that shirt is a vibe. I love that.
Oh, his cheetah shirt?
Yes. Oh, does he realize that Ilya's probably there if he's looking at those two? That's my guess, right?
Probably. he's dancing behind him. Oh my God, this freaking game that they're playing. What is going? Is this what's happening? What's happening right now? Does she know?
I'm not sure.
Because he's all up on him.
He's right up on him.
He's going to fight him because they want to love each other, but they can't.
Whoa. Oh, it's just making him jealous. Damn.
How could you? Oh my God. Playing freaking mind games because you're salty. The guy you never choose got somebody else, and now you're trying to make him jealous. So toxic.
It's working.
I guess it is, but I hate that they got to do that. Not from a writing point of view, like a character action. I understand why they're doing it. I just don't like it.
Oh, that's sad doing a pan out like that. Both of them.
Oh, they're imagining each other?
Yeah, they're thinking about each other right now.
Yeah.
Through these
That
episodes.
was a great way to showcase that.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was episodes 3 and 4 of season 1 of Heated Rivalry. We hope you enjoyed that. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you do all the YouTube stuff. Share the video. Don't forget to like it. Most importantly,
ring that bell so you get notified when new videos are coming out.
Yeah, we're going to be dropping episodes 5 and 6, I assume, at the same time, so that way you don't miss out on them. It's by clicking that notification bell, as Aaron just mentioned. Also, if you are listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure you give us a 5-star rating. We would appreciate it. All special thanks to the fine folks over at Prepper, doing an incredible job editing down the highlights so that way you're able to view it over on YouTube. We appreciate their hard work. And also full-length reaction where you sync up with your own copy. It's over on our Patreon page. Greg and John exclusively cover many other TV shows and highlights. Also, it's just a good way to help us just offset a lot of the monetization issues that we run into on a day-to-day basis. We're watching it on HBO Max, so we appreciate you supporting us over there. Also, you can become a Righteous Reject if you join us over there. 15% discount on teas like these, rejectnationshop.com. Aaron.
Intrusive.
We're going to get into questions in a moment. Just quick thoughts. What did you think of episodes 3 and 4 before we get to the questions?
Episodes 3 and 4.
Oh, excuse me, 5 and... Wait, yeah, is that what we're on? 3 and 4,
3
right?
and 4.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were questioning it. I was like, wait, did we just watch 3 and 4?
No,
yeah,
I wasn't
3 and 4.
questioning
My bad. Yeah, go ahead. 3 and 4, buddy.
3 and 4 were really good, man. It was really great. I am really impressed by the show's ability to really draw you in to its characters in a way that is beyond the obvious, beyond just dialogue, but certain looks, certain camera choices, the way that we play with lighting. I think it's all really, really impressive. I was really, really enjoying episode 3. I think that it did a great job of endearing us to these two characters pretty instantly between Kip and Hunter, and you really felt their love. You really felt the plight of Hunter wanting to embrace this life, wanting to embrace the love of his life, but he can't because of the fear and the repercussions he feels come with that. And then, Kip wants to fully embrace this life, and he can't because he loves him so much, but he feels like he can't fully be himself and be honest with the world in the way that he wants to, even though he is out. He's out in public with his sexuality, but he can't be open and honest with his father. And it seems like he has a really close relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
His dad seems so kind and sweet and loving and accepting of him, and I really love that they have that relationship. So it was a bummer and really sad that they couldn't be with each other. At least that's what the implication was at the end, that they can't be with each other because of this life that Hunter has, and Kip not wanting to settle for less than what he feels he deserves. And you kind of get not the exact same thing, but like a similar thing with Shane and wanting to not settle for less than what he feels he deserves. They just hooked up. They were having this multi-year thing, and then here Ilya is talking about like the different girls he's hooking up with, and he has like somebody, but they're just friends and probably gonna get somebody else. He just doesn't really treat him with a sense of care or importance. You know, it's like you get a little bit and then you lose some, with the sense that, you know, finally have this sleepover, but then, you know, after the fact he's talking about all these other people, and you clearly see this is something that's hurting Shane. And yeah, you just can't do it anymore. But, you know, there's still this multi-long history and attachment there. Even though they don't see each other frequently, there's this history and attachment there. And it's very well illustrated in that final moment there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is still great, still very well written and well acted.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it.
It's very riveting, and I love how dramatic it can be. Well, like I said in the first 2 episodes, especially being from someone who's very competitive, someone who's played sports their whole life, someone who teaches sports, I love the psychology that they get in, especially with guys who are dating each other too and are romantically linked. That's really the most intriguing part for me. Yeah, another 2 great episodes. I really thought episode 3, I'll get to episode 4 in momentarily, because we're going to get into the questions in a sec as well. I thought that was such an ambitious choice, saying we're going to pause on Ilya and Shane for for the most part, this entire episode. We're going to focus on Kip and Hunter. And we're going to, and like, I was instantly drawn to that relationship. Seriously, like right away.
Immediately.
Yeah. And I thought it was, I thought it was as well. I really like that we got to see that it wasn't a toxic relationship like Ilya and like with Shane as well. And I think a big part of that has to do with that. I mean, obviously we know that Hunter's his family, and as we got to go through the episode a little bit more, we got to learn more of the backstory of both characters, especially with Hunter, and like really made me shed a tear, and especially learning that his parents lost their lives in a DUI accident.
Yeah.
It was really dreadful and sad to hear. And then also too, so he's got a lot of grief and trauma that he's dealing with. And then also too, when it comes to Kip's character, he's just a really sweet, endearing, compassionate person. And also he's got such a great relationship with his father. And I think because of this, that's why they're able to not have such a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's, we mentioned too while we were watching it, I think that's why Ilya and Shane have such even though like when things are really going well, it's not as volatile, but when he's not communicating, I think a big part of that is because of the environment he grew up around, whether it's his brother or whether it's his father. And then like as we get more of the story fleshed out, or the characters fleshed out in episode 4 even, and we find out like, because they gave us little hints of detection of that with the dimension. Now we find out like he's really giving his brother all this money because he's in Russia, and he needs his brother to take care of his father. So, but again, you really understand that trauma in that relationship, and this is why like he has such a tough time being vulnerable around Shane. But then you see the relationship with Kip and with Hunter, and like immediately it just clicks. And I felt so bad because Hunter wants to be with him, but a big part of it, at least from my interpretation, the way I was reading it, was a big part was his profession, and how I don't think personally it was just that he's afraid like how people are going to react if he comes out if he wasn't a professional sports athlete. I think a lot of it has to do with that, because as you pointed out in episodes 1 and 2, it's such a masculine sport, but also too, it's just it's a very ostracizing thing when you are a professional athlete and people have their opinions, but also too, it's like a private club, if you will, when you're a professional athlete and you're the superstar, and people can be very ostracizing and volatile when it comes to that type of thing. And it could be a PR thing, and which it shouldn't be. Honestly, you're with someone who gives a crap.
Yeah, it doesn't change
so
who you are.
but I felt bad. Like you could really feel, and the actor did such a great job who played Hunter. You could see when they're private how in love and in lust they were, and just how into Kip he was, and like it really like was speaking to me in my heart and my soul, like how much like they embodied each other and how much they were into each other. But then when they were in private, like whether they were going to get art for the house or something, you could feel like just the facial expressions and how scared he was of being outed and being caught possibly. And like you could see almost like panic attacks happening. And I genuinely like, I wanted him to be in a place where he wasn't afraid to be, with this man. And no one would judge him. And I wish we lived in a world at least for professional athletes and just men in general, where it's not that big of a deal, where people know those type of things. So you just I really felt awful for the character. And then you feel at the end of the episode when he's looking through the mirror, or the glass window rather, and he sees him, and he imagines. I can only imagine he's thinking of a life where he's with him, and he's maybe not a hockey player, doesn't have to worry about these things. So I mean, there's a lot of pressure being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
So just an incredible episode. Like I said, the writers took a bold move there, just putting a full pause on the two main characters of Shane and Ilya that we had in the first two episodes, and putting a focus on these two. And I thought that was I thought it really worked for me. And then getting into episode 4, I loved episode 4 as well. And I think it was fascinating as well, having him finally come to the realization that he's finally communicating with him. He wants him to stay. And I thought that was a big growth and evolution for Ilya. And also too, seeing the contrast to that when he starts talking, he was really sharing about being with other women and all that, and maybe sharing a little too much, but I appreciate the honesty there. But then you see that Shane is not yet ready to commit to that, to Ilya there. And then you can see once he starts dating, I feel like it's more of an experimental thing, because you got the pressure of everything that comes with, I keep using the word, probably sounds tedious at this point, of being a professional athlete, but then you see the pressures that come with that, and also his parents talking about being with the at least grooming him to stand next to a Dutch princess or whatever they were talking about. So I can understand Shane's having the mindset of, let me just see what this is like. I think too, for him, when he met Rose in the beginning, it was just, I just want to talk to her and just see what happens. And then there was a genuine connection. It was just human to human type of thing. And then it's like, okay, well, Ilya was telling me about how he likes girls. Let me just see what this is kind of like, and then go from there. But I love how at the end, there is that hint of, by the way, we're going to get into the questions really here. I do like that there is the hint of that they're thinking of each other in that moment right there. So, it's the foreshadowing that hopefully they're going to get back together, of course, which is what I would like.
I want them to get back together.
Oh, you mean because it's such a toxic relationship?
Yeah, I feel like Shane deserves better than Ilya, but
yeah,
hey, maybe that's unpopular, but
yeah.
I feel like he has to deal with his own shit and heal before they can.
Yeah, for sure. But maybe,
like
look, being a human is all about growth and evolution. Yeah. So I think maybe, hopefully, Ilya gets to a place where he does do that, and then they can be together. So
yeah, I hope Hunter and Kip can get together. But
yes. That
was my favorite episode of the show.
Yeah, that I want to see for sure too. So. Anyways, guys, if you are a Royal Reject, you can ask us questions. We will shout you out individually, as we are about to do. So we're going to start that right now. All right, Art. We have a question from Art. Thank you so much for being a Royal Reject and for asking a question. We appreciate you so much. What do you think of the acting, especially knowing that Ilya actor is Texan and learned Russian in 2 weeks, and Shane is diagnosed autistic in the series, but the actor is not, and is really different from him in real life? Interesting. First of all, what do you think about Ilya being Texan? I did not know that. And Shane is also diagnosed autistic.
Yeah.
Did you know either of those things?
I did not. No, I was not aware of that. I wonder if Shane, I don't know if that's a line that we missed, or maybe that's something that's revealed in episodes 5 and 6, or maybe it's just in the book. This is based on a novel.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
But yeah, no, I think they did a great job. I think the actor who plays Ilya, I would have never known that he was not Russian.
Never.
And he's from Texas, no less. And that Shane is autistic. But yeah, I did not pick up on that. But I think that's interesting to know, and cool context, knowing what happens or what's going to be going on from here on out, or going forward. But as far as your initial question, I think the acting is incredible in the show. I think it does a really great job of showcasing not only the chemistry, but the interior world of both of our characters, or all 4 of our characters, our leads. I think that the one scene where Shane is on the couch and has tears in his eyes, and he's trying to smirk, has a smirk. He wants to celebrate for Ilya, but he can't. not in the way that he wants to, but you can still see a glimmer of that coming through. I think that speaks to just the nature of the medium that we're in film/television versus something like acting on stage, because you have to be loud and expressive with your feelings.
Sure.
But I love the intimacy of the small idiosyncrasies and micro expressions of what a camera can capture. And I think they did a great job of showcasing that.
That's true. Well, I was just going to say that's what I love too about getting into the psyche of guys who are so competitive but also are being intimate with each other. Like seeing that they're happy for each other, but it's like also competitive. I love seeing that contrast. I think the acting is so fantastic, and that's also what I loved about. I mean, I think Ilya and Shane. I don't know the actors' names yet. Sorry, but it's not a big deal because I still haven't learned all the actors' names yet in Stranger Things. I've been watching that show for a long time. But I will say I do appreciate. I think they have incredible chemistry, and I love the contrast between them, whether it's their mannerisms and just how totally different they are. And I think sometimes, even though I know the relationship is very toxic at this point, but I do think a lot of times two opposites do attract. But also, too, like we got literally thrust into a whole different relationship in episode 3, as we mentioned already a few times. And I was like, instantly, because again, we felt that chemistry immediately. And it was just incredible acting. Like right away, the actor who played Kip, I immediately felt his compassion and his sincerity. And I was just, oh my God, I'm so invested in this character in the first like 2 or 3 minutes. So I like that actor a lot. I'm not sure if I've seen him in anything, but I really like him a great deal. And I'm really hoping we get to cut back to that relationship as well. I hope that's not just a one-off for this season at least, but we'll see. But I had no idea Ilya was Texan. I legit thought he was from Russia, at least from his accent. So I really love when actors can really embody the characters that they're supposed to be. Just quick example of that, someone like Heath Ledger. Whenever I watch The Dark Knight, I don't see Heath Ledger anymore. I see the Joker. Whenever I watch The Batman, I don't see Colin Farrell. I see Oz. I see the Penguin. So I'm going to give the actor who plays Ilya, if he's since you're saying he's Texan, I don't hear a Texan in any way. I see a total Russian actor. So I appreciate when actors really embody the roles that they are in, and they literally disappear into that.
Yeah.
So I would never, if you did not tell us this and I had not looked it up, I would never have known he was from Texas. So that's incredible to hear that. And I did not know either. Maybe I missed it as well, that he was autistic. So maybe that's something as well that we're going to get into in episodes 5 or 6. Or that's just something that, again, that's just something observant that I wasn't noticing. But it's an interesting fact as well when it comes to Shane. But like I said, I appreciate both those characters, and I love them so much. So curious to see where we're going to go with these characters in the next 2, and just if the relationship gets out, and I'm fascinated to see. But thank you so much, Art, for the question. We appreciate you.
All right, Mathiel, thank you for sending in a question. I appreciate you. Hi, Andrew and Aaron. Love to see you reacting to this surprising gem. I particularly loved the parallels and contrast between the 2 main relationships in episodes 3 and 4. It is down to the smallest details of how Scott and Ilya both extend a hand to call their men back, but with heartbreaking different results. What do you think that the narrative choice to shift between the 2 stories?
I think it was incredibly bold. If I would have been a writer in that room, I would have said, I don't know if this is, in this way, right now I'm not a writer, but I don't know if I would have made that choice. And I'm glad I wasn't there to say that, because I think it was the right thing. And I think to see that contrast is so fascinating to see. But also, too, we get to see the different styles of why one relationship is so volatile and why one and toxic, as Aaron said, and why one is not. But also, too, you get to see the one that's not the toxic relationship. What's causing it to break apart is like him being outed, and that what's ruining the relationship. So, and then you feel so bad. And what I appreciate so much about Kip too, he's been so understanding. I think they said they've been dating right a few months at this point, and he's been very understanding and very loving and sincere towards Hunter the entire time. And I think the same thing for what I noticed in the 2 relationships is like Shane, when Kip and Shane keep everything contained and within them, it just really causes a lot of panic and just dismay within them. And it's just so hard to keep something like that. Like when you love someone so much and you have to really just keep it contained within you, it's very difficult. And I understand that because it's the person you hold most dear to you, and you have to keep that just private. So I understand like how hard it is, and I appreciate that they shed a light on that in sharing. Not only they were contrasting the relationships, but they were also comparing they were shedding a light on the similarities as well.
Yeah.
So I like seeing that as well, and then also just as I mentioned, seeing the contrast between the volatile parts of their relationship. Like you saw the communication, the honesty, but then they actually went back to that in the fourth one, where finally Ilya was letting the walls down a little bit and was being more honest and communicating with him. And I also appreciated like little details, for instance, with Shane. So I'm trying to remember the character's name. I appreciated little details like as well with Shane, where he's like trying to learn little things like Russian, and then things with Kip, like where he's making him food and doing stuff like that. Like that's love language to me. So I appreciated that they were going into stuff like that. But I think it was just very bold, very wise, and it could have went off the rails very easily, because throughout episode 3, if you were not invested in that relationship, you could have like even halfway in or a quarter of the way in, where I want Ilya and Shane back. Like why are we here? So the fact that they made it work is incredible. I'm glad they did it. What about you?
Yeah, no, I thought it was really interesting seeing the contrast between the two relationships, because I think the thing that sells us immediately is watching those two in the coffee shop the moment they interact, how apparent it is that these two are, attracted to each other, how they're flirting without like saying it overtly, and just the build up to them finally consummating. And I really liked the difference in which how they showed their sex scenes versus Ilya and Shane and Hollander sex scenes.
Yeah.
Because I felt like with those two, it was very much, it was passionate, but it was very much like they're screwing, and they're this side thing. There's this release that they're trying to get out in secret, and nobody can know about it. It's just like straight to business, and then immediately leaving. And it gets to that point where they're not even like doing the bare minimum, bare essentials of that kind of connection with Ilya not even kissing Shane, and him just kind of going to him because he feels like he wants this thing with this guy, but this guy's using him as a form of escape when he feels all this pressure around him and doesn't feel like he can be himself anywhere else. So he just is kind of taking what he can get. Whereas the other relationship, there is a lot of love there, and the way that they showcase their scenes, it does. I said it right before it switched. I was like, I appreciate how the sex scenes were more sensual, but then it kind of quickly became a lot more sexual, where the other ones were more sensual, even though they were sexual too. But I feel like there was more love there when they would kind of have their scenes. So I like how that was showcased and that difference, but also the fact that even after their first time hooking up, he's like, no, I want you to stay. And I feel like because we saw for 2 episodes what Ilya and Hollander's relationship was, for him to ask him to stay, you expect it to be a similar thing of like, okay, I'm just going to leave now. But it's like, no, I want you in my life. I want you around. And I really loved that. I really liked that, it was almost the quintessential like meet cute situation of like, okay, these two meet at a coffee shop, and then they get together, and then they fall in love. But there's this obvious hurdle that they have to get through of Hunter not being fully comfortable and even terrified of the fact that he could be exposed to the world. He couldn't even go to an art gallery without like having an internal freak out about somebody knowing who he is. Even though if you just go into an art gallery with another dude, it doesn't inherently mean to the world that they're going to think that you're gay. But because it's such a visceral thing for him, he couldn't do it. He couldn't handle it. And it's so sad that this fear of the fallout prevents him from fully embracing the happiness he knows that he can have with this man.
Yeah, and I'm
it's really unfortunate.
I agree with him. I'm wondering too what's going to happen, like because a lot of these star athletes they have advertisers and they have sponsorships. So I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you come out in that regard, I would hope nothing would happen because it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I would hope so. Because again, this is like what we're
2016, 2017 now or whatever it is. But I will say this before we move on to that, because we do have a few more questions to go here. But I will say I did appreciate, too, that Hunter was very honest and direct with him, saying, like, I know we just met each other, but I feel the vibe and the energy, and I really adore you and like you, and I do want you in my life. Having said all that, I do have to keep it very private. So he did inform him right away what the situation is. So he was being honest and direct, and I did appreciate that. But it was unfortunate that we had to get to a point that we're in society where we have to be like that.
Yeah,
so.
but I think not contest your point, but I feel like that's when they first started hooking up, and obviously they got to a point where they loved each other, so they wanted a life with each other. You talked about, like, we only have to do this for a few more years.
Yeah,
like, okay, you want to be with him for the long haul.
Yeah.
But that's a tough thing to ask someone to do for years, lie to their family for years
no,
about their relationship.
of course, like to keep that, like that would make someone really sick, for sure.
Yeah, and even though both of them have this private relationship that's going on, there is definitely more intention and more harmonious love and intention with the relationship we saw in episode 3 versus the relationship we've seen in episodes 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in 1 second. Looks like on the next question. So thank you so much for the question. We appreciate you. All right, from Maria Stoicheva. Sorry, apologies if I accidentally mispronounced it. Thank you so much for being a Royal Reject, asking a question. We appreciate you. For episode 3, why do you think this story is included in the series, and why exactly at this time? Where do you expect it to go? What are the differences to the Shane Ilya storyline that were maybe not too obvious but spoke to you?
Not too obvious but spoke to me. That's an interesting question. Why I think they included it was to showcase what it's like to be somebody who is in a more masculine field, who is traditionally masculine and hetero field, to be someone in a homosexual relationship. And I felt like the way that they compared and contrast were brought upon in very different ways. One was, we're getting straight to business, dirty little secret, we have this rivalry, and we use it as a game to both mess with each other but also motivate each other. So there's like a competitive nature in addition to this primal sexual thing that they have going on, where the other one is more about their hearts and more about their intent, and they are able to accept and embrace these feelings for one another, whereas these two don't know how to do that because of the amount of pressure from their external lives, coupled with their own family pressures as well and their own histories and whatnot. So that's definitely something that that plays into the other relationships. And I think the reason they chose to do it now is because we saw their relationship building between Shane and Ilya over the course of those 2 episodes, to the point where we're just having so much time pass where Ilya's just distancing himself and just using Shane whenever they're in town, even though that's clearly not what Shane wants. He wants to have a more consistent or more intentional thing with him. At least that's what I felt the story was implying, whereas Ilya's kind of just using him as a form of escapism. And I felt like showcasing them hooking up without even kissing, to then showing the other 2 guys then consummating and then spending the night, is to show the contrast of what an intimate relationship can look like within hockey players, but on 2 different ways of going about it, and just to showcase the spectrum of what intimacy can be between sets of people. And the other question, where do I expect it to go? I really do hope that Hunter and Shane can maybe find out about each other and then be friends.
Yeah.
Part of me did expect that because it kind of implied that Kip and Hunter broke up, right? I feel because he was outside of the bar.
Like that,
and he
it
was
seemed
celebrating
like
he's going
that's
to
what
school.
happened. Yeah, exactly. That because they can't be, they can't be public about it with anyone. It seems other than the ones who, other than the friend Maria, I think that have figured it out. That unfortunately they have to break up. It seems like. So.
Yeah. So part of me thought that Kip and Shane were going to find each other, and then that was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But I guess that we didn't go that route. But I think I would hope, fingers crossed, that we do revisit the Kip and Hunter relationship because I really like their storyline.
I do too.
And there's another part of the question: what were the differences to the Shane and Ilya storyline that were maybe not too obvious but spoke to you? I don't know if there was anything that wasn't too obvious, but I think just like the anxious avoidant trap and cycle of what people find themselves into. I feel like that's something that's universal, whether you're gay, straight, pan, or whatever. And I think it was interesting seeing that relationship play out, but also especially with an Ilya who started off as somebody who is from a traditional heterosexual masculine perspective, as engaging in something that is people perceive as not masculine, while also holding these masculine traits in regards to his own feelings.
Yeah. Why do you think the story was included in this series? I think we've mentioned it already a few times, just about seeing the contrast, and also too we see two competitive guys who have a relationship with each other, but they also spend so much time away from each other. And now two guys who are in the same city, one's a civilian and one's a sports athlete. So I like seeing the contrast and seeing that type of relationship with someone versus like two guys who never really get to see each other. They have to interact a lot more via text. And then there's a very divide in terms of how much they get to see each other. So it was nice to actually get a wholesome relationship where they get to spend a lot more time together. So that endeared me right away, that they get to spend so much more time together. So I liked seeing that. And where do you expect it to go? I'm hoping they get to reconcile, but also too, I can't remember. I know we literally just watched it. I think they were mentioning too, was it Hunter too? I know they mentioned that they were in a room, like Hunter's right next door, don't make any noise. So kind of we're already foreshadowing that not foreshadowing, but that there's a possibility, not that he could be gay, but that they had more intention of doing something big with Hunter's character. So I appreciate that they already did that, but I don't know where I expect it to go. I'm hoping that we get a vindication or reconciliation with those two characters when it comes to Kip and Hunter, because even after one episode, I'm so invested in those two characters. My only concern is I just don't know if you can't force someone into doing something, and I'm not sure yet if Hunter is ready to have that relationship be public. And also on top of it, they've been hinting as well that Kip is possibly going to, what was he was applying to Boston or something for, what was he applying for? I can't remember.
I think you're on the right track.
College.
Yeah.
Okay, was it college? Okay, I just can't remember what he was applying for, but
grad school, maybe.
Yeah, there's a possibility. Having said that, I've seen a lot of romantic films in the past and TV shows where if he does get the application, that Hunter could say, like, I don't care who knows about us, don't go to Boston, come here, stay with me. Could see that too. So if he's ready to take that step, like, I think that'd be beautiful and incredible, and he's not worried about advertiser or what anyone thinks, I think that'd be amazing too. And then what was the other part of the question? What are the differences to the Shane Ilya storyline? I think not going to go into what's not so obvious. Just the most obvious thing to me is it's not as competitive. But between the two relationships, because you got the number 1 draft pick and the number 2 draft pick. So and Aaron and I always mention it while we're watching these episodes. Everything is so competitive between these two sportsmen. So whether that's in bed, whether that's through a text message, whether that's on the ice. So just seeing just a regular relationship between two guys, not saying that these two don't have a regular relationship too when it comes to Shane and Ilya, albeit it's a little more toxic, but seeing the, between Kip and Hunter, a relationship between two guys who are not both sports athletes, only one is, I appreciated seeing that the substance there and seeing something a little bit different. and just like one is very supportive of the line of work he does, and the other one is very supportive of him in his arts and all that stuff. So I like seeing those types of differences. It was nice to get a little bit of a break between Shane and Ilya, and to see seeing the contrast there in that way. So that I would say that was the biggest difference, just competitive wise and toxic wise. But like I said, in terms of expected to go, I would like, if anything, I want them to get back together, but not in a forced way for Hunter, because when it comes to whatever it is in whatever wake in life, I want someone to feel comfortable in their own skin, whatever it is that they do. So we shall see what happens, though.
We shall see.
All right.
All right. Christian Seabold. I hope I'm saying your name right. Sorry if I didn't. Heated Rivalry centers a myriad of forms of sustained queer intimacy as part of ordinary life, adult life, more explicitly, rather than something fleeting, tragic, or treated as a side story. So, what do you think this type of portrayal gives audiences that previous portrayals could not?
Heated Rivalry centers myriad forms of sustained queer intimacy as part of ordinary adult life, more explicitly, rather than as something fleeting, tragic, or treated as a side story. So, what do you think this type? Why don't you take this one first, and I'll respond.
All right.
Yeah.
I think this does something different in the sense that it is, first and foremost, it is the leading story. It is about, these two sets of guys that are experiencing love or intimacy in a way that is not typically given the spotlight in other forms of media. And if it is showcased as a side story. I think the thing that was maybe surprising for me going in is the amount of sex that was on display. I expected it to be a show. I think the only thing I really knew about is it's about some gay guys and hockey, and that's it. But I didn't know the inner workings or the fact that there would be sex involved in the show. And I think it was interesting seeing how it was playing out and how I'm trying to figure out how to answer the question. I feel like it was interesting seeing how intimacy plays out, because it's not something you typically see or is given spotlight in typical American movies or television. So for it to be more explicit, more graphic, I think it normalizes it and shows for traditional audiences that, listen, people of different sexual orientations are allowed to showcase love and showcase how they give expressions of love. And I think that it, in ways, it's not too different. It is, but it's not. So I think that the way that they were able to showcase it allowed it to have light in a way that makes it like, oh, okay, cool. And I liked that it was a part of the story, and especially in episode 3, how it showed as a contrast to how they use intimacy to connect, or how to use intimacy as a form of game playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that it was front and center, and it wasn't made to be something that was pandering, but rather something that was more authentic and more genuine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of. I mean, we watched, what was it called? Love, Simon, right? And we watched. What was the other one I watched? It was with Armie Hammer and Timothy Chalamet.
Call Me by Your Name.
Call Me by Your Name. Those were really great films. But this is the first. Like Aaron, the only thing I knew about this was hockey and two guys that were going to be in love with each other. But I think, as I've mentioned a few times, the thing that was different for me was just seeing the competitive edge and seeing like that from that form of it. So that was definitely something different. But I do like how they portray it. Not saying that these films didn't. I don't think it did anything from that point different. But I do like how they treat it as completely normal. Again, I'm not saying that those two films did not, but I think the episode that really broke my heart. Both all the episodes, honestly, like have made me come from a place of feeling tragic just from that they have to worry about what other people think. And I don't think any relationship should ever have to worry about that, especially episode 3. Like that really, like between Hunter and between Kip, like that relationship is so wholesome. So to see those two characters not be able to continue that relationship because Hunter is so worried about what others are going to perceive of him, as well as possible advertisers, and when it comes to his sports franchises or whatever, like that is something different I have not seen, because the only other 2 films like that are just, like I said, top of mind are Love, Simon and Call Me by Your Name. So it's definitely different in that sense, but yeah, it's fascinating to see on a professional scale, sports scale like this, to see it in that way. But I do like how they treat these characters with the utmost respect, and they're treating it as normal relationships, but they still have a lot of shit that they have to worry about from the real world, and they still it's a lot to deal with, and you still it's really tragic in that way. But when they're in their most private and intimate moments, I'm really so invested in these characters that if things don't work out, that it just breaks my heart. So I'm just anxious to see like what the resolve is going to be, though, in these final 2 episodes. I've not read the book yet, so I don't know where if there's more in terms of there's going to be more seasons. But like I said, in terms of what it does different from the other 2, I would say that's the biggest thing, is just like the setting and the competitive spirit. That's the biggest thing that is contrasting for me. But yeah, thank you so much for the question. We appreciate it. All right, CR, there are 4 references to ginger ale in episode 4. Makes sense. Episode 4. We see Shane request ginger ale at the restaurant with his parents, then later again at the bar where Rose is. The restaurant says they don't serve ginger ale, and the bartender shames him into getting a beer instead. His teammate Hayden also says he and his wife always have ginger ale stocked at their house when he wants to come over again. During his stay at Ilya's house, Ilya pulls out a ginger ale for him without being asked. I do remember that. And then asks if the ginger ale is cold enough for him. What do you think this insight focus into Shane's favorite drink is meant to represent narratively?
Oh, crap.
Isn't ginger ale a Canadian drink too? Or am I wrong? Because my dad was obsessed with ginger ale. I remember growing up, he always wanted ginger ale. I think it is a Canadian drink, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know what the
I don't know. I don't remember him having ginger ale too much at the house.
Well, I know growing up he had a lot.
He did?
Oh my God, so much
ginger
ale.
I believe you. I also love ginger ale.
Yeah,
That's
let me
fine.
just see, just really quick. Where does ginger ale come from? Where does ginger ale come from?
Ireland.
Oh, it's from Ireland. Never mind. My dad loved an Irish drink.
That's funny. There's Canada Dry. That's probably.
Oh, Canada Dry. Probably that's what it was.
Sense.
Yeah.
That's a good observation. I did not notice that on our watch, and I'm kind of sad that I did. Maybe on our rewatch, I'll pick up more on the stuff with the ginger ale. But yeah, I do think that at least in that last scene where he asked if it was cold enough for him, that it's a showcase of Ilya paying attention.
Yeah,
to
that's a good point.
To Shane's likes, and him asking him to stay the night, and him making him the sandwich,
tuna melt,
him finally opening up to him in some regard, and even down to them being on the couch together and calling each other their first names. And it felt like there was just so much history there between them, but I feel like both of them in a way were scared in that moment, because like I don't want to put myself out there again just to be tossed aside, even though he is showing these signs of maybe he is more open to me and more willing to accept and embrace me. But yeah, that's one I'm gonna have to sit with. CR, I'm let that one cook a little bit longer.
I think you're on the right path. That's how I felt as well when he was getting himself. I mean, to me, that's my love language. When you're able to communicate without saying anything, is to get your significant other's stuff that they love without saying anything, like ginger ale, if that's what they like, tuna melt. And we saw that in episode 3 when it came to Kip making, I think he made feta chicken without the feta, and he was making him the blueberry with the banana and the smoothie and stuff like that. So I think that is a big thing because I think that Ilya is really taking a step forward and growing and evolving in terms of the relationship. He was, as Aaron just pointed out, calling him by his first name. So I think that he's really taking the next step. But then, as you also just pointed out, that Shane doesn't want to feel tossed aside like he did. For 6 months, he didn't hear from him, and then told him to just leave, and they didn't even kiss that one night when they, I think at the end of episode 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can understand the apprehension for Shane when it comes to the relationship and why he would feel very scared to really fully dive into it when Ilya says he's ready to. I totally understand where Shane's coming from, but I'm with Aaron on that it feels like that's what it spoke to narratively. I'd have to rewatch it as well just to see all the ginger ale stuff come in here. But that's, at least to me, when it comes to like significant others, is paying attention, being observant, is listening that way, and that's what you do for your significant other. You do things for them in that way. That's a love language, being thoughtful in that way. So thank you so much for the question. We appreciate you, CR.
I'm rereading. Hold on. Maybe it's also an allegory for love and acceptance as well, kind of getting these details in. Because he requests at the restaurant, he's shamed into getting beer. Do you remember him getting shamed into getting beer?
I don't remember.
It's okay. I'm going to let it cook a little longer, and then maybe we'll address it in episode 4 and 5. We can go on to the next one.
Okay.
Okay, Kiki Varez. What's up, Kiki? In this show, the two main characters are played by two fairly new actors. My question is, so far, what do you think of their acting, and what has stood out to you? Also, what do you think of the overall camera work and direction of the show?
P.S. So happy you guys are reacting to this. Excited to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much, Kiki.
Thank you, Kiki.
Well, I think they have incredible chemistry. Their interactions are, whether it's coming from a toxic place or coming from a wholesome place, I love it all. It makes for good drama, or it makes for good love, and I appreciate it. What is the thing that stands out to me? Their abs, their shoulders, their backs. I want to be in shape like them. Yeah.
Same.
No, I appreciate where they come from, their backstory, whether it's their family. I have noticed too, like when it comes to, we've already talked about this, but when it comes to like Ilya's father, and his brother, just the nurturement that he had growing up, Ilya, and why he's so hardened, why he's got a facade, why it's so hard to break down the walls. And when it comes to Shane's character too, like he's got very loving parents, but they can also be controlling too in a way. So, it's understandable too why he's got some walls too that need to be broken down, and why he's very apprehensive to let people in as well. So that stood out to me, but they are incredible actors. I would never, if you didn't write us this, know that they are not fairly new actors, and to be the lead on a big hit series like this, like they feel so seasoned, these two. So they've done a terrific job when it comes to the overall camera work and direction. There's definitely, direction-wise, fantastic. They know how to allow the actors to express themselves and know when to pan in when it comes to certain camera. But there's also other camera shots, too. Some of my favorite ones are when you see, like, the wide shots. There was one, I can't remember which episode, you could see, like, I was like, oh, great shot of the wide. You could see 3 characters at once, one on the left, one in the center, one on the right. I don't remember which episode that is. If you guys want to remind me, go for it. And then there was another one where I think it was Ilya coming home. Mm-hmm. We stayed on. It was a tracking shot where he was coming in home, and we were going from right to left. So there's definitely a lot of good tracking shots that I've noticed, and the camera work is fantastic, and also too a lot of close-ups when we really need to feel visceral and just feel the expressiveness on the characters. So I really liked it, and I've also liked a lot of the music choices that they've gone with it as well. I think music can be a very powerful tool when it comes to film and TV. The whole point of music, for me at least, is to express how the characters are feeling, as well as how we, the audience, should be feeling, whether it's score music or music when it comes to lyrics. And I think so far they've picked some really good choices. I've noticed some synthesizer music, and I've also noticed some techno type of beats, and also some really good songs with lyrics that have been some really emotional and good choices. So what about you?
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I feel like these actors are all doing an incredible job, especially. Well, I think all four of our main love
Yes.
interest people are doing great. I think the chemistry between them and the way that they are able to capture these very specific types of relationship dynamics of like being attracted to each other, but also having this rivalry, messing with each other, playing mind games, but also feeling the sense of, I don't think entitlement's the right word, but getting jealous and showcasing that in ways that are more subtle without having the actors portray that in a way that's big, like on the stage. Also, the camera work is great too. That shot was showing on the outside, like I was saying. And the one that's sticking to my brain when you say this is going back to the banana socks and the whole banana thing in episode 3, and then him wearing them, taking the picture and sending it to Kip.
Yeah.
But then at the very end of the episode, he covers them up, kind of as an allegory for him hiding his homosexuality. Yeah. So I find it was sad. He's wearing them, but he's wearing it on the inside. He can't let the world see that.
Can't wear it on the outside. Yeah, that's a good point, man.
But yeah, I think both the acting, also the scene where Shane is trying to, he wants to express his happiness but doesn't want to be too loud with his expression and his joy in a celebration of Ilya.
You know,
So
there was
all those things were great.
I agree with everything you said. There was also we were talking about it when we were reacting to it. It was fascinating. With Miles was like really hovering right behind Shane, and Rose was like right there too. I was like, is she cool with this? Like, it does not bother me, but I was like, is she cool with this? Does she know? Like,
I didn't
he was
understand
right on top of him. So I was
He was about to kiss up on his neck.
But maybe she was so drunk and I'm not sure. Yeah, but Anyways, thank you so much for the question. We appreciate it. Looks like we got another question from Maria. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And this is our final one. How are you? You doing well after this? On a more serious note, what is your understanding of the characters' inner worlds in this episode? What would you say are their driving emotions here? What were they trying to achieve?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm a little hungry, but other than that, I'm really enjoying the show. I think it is very unique for a large mainstream show to be able to have queer representation. I think it's been awesome, and maybe showcasing it to an audience that maybe wasn't privy to a show of this scale prior to this. But yeah, to my own personal experiences, I think it's been very, very good. It's allowed me to, obviously we feel for a living, but to be just so invested so quickly in such a short amount of time, I'm very happy that the writing is very strong in the show. I'm very grateful that the acting is very strong in the show as well. And what was the other thing that you asked? What does this give me about the characters' inner worlds? I don't know. I think of a few different things. I feel like Ilya feels a lot of internal, external pressure from his dad and his brother, and because of that pressure, he doesn't want to let anyone in. He doesn't want to let people down, so he has to just kind of lock in and only can let Shane in so far, because maybe that's one less person he can let down, or one less person he can have hurt him. So he just has him at arm's length enough emotionally, but allows him in only enough physically, and to still have access there. So maybe there's some other notes that I'm not getting at this time, but that's kind of what I'm picking up on. And he seems like he is starting to open up and wanting to have more of an intimate relationship with him more emotionally, even though maybe he doesn't know how to do that wholly. And they're finally calling each other's first names while they're in bed with one another. They're not saying like "F you" as much.
But I love when they say "F you."
I know
it's cute when they do it.
Yeah. It's like them trying to maintain their masculinity while also being in this intimate space.
There's subtext there.
Yeah, there's for sure subtext. I feel like Shane really, you know, he also feels this pressure from the outside world. I feel like he feels fear as well about being himself because of maybe the repercussions that come with that, but also he's just new to it, at least the beginning, and he doesn't have a ton of experience. And Ilias's only experiences into having a sense of intimacy is the only form of intimacy as far as the show relates that he knows, that he can be this softer side of himself. It's interesting, the contrast of him being this captain and this leader, but within their relationship, he is the softer one. You know, he's the one that is more submissive to Ilya. He's the one that cuddles him, and he's the one who wants him to be like kissing and stuff when he feels like he's being used, and he's going back to him even after not talking for 6 months. So it sucks how on the outside world, he is someone that is achieved status and power and wealth, but is softer and less dominant in his interior world and his private life. So I thought that was the interesting contrast between those two characters. Sure. As for Hunter, I feel he has this trauma, but he also has a good heart, but he has just so much fear about, you know, embracing the heart and the love that he has. And then for Kip, I feel like he wants to live out loud fully and wholly, and is kind of in this position where he can't be honest. It's almost like he has to return to the closet. I don't know if he was ever in the closet, but he has to return to the closet because the man he loves isn't ready to be out with him in the light, which is another form of pain because it makes him feel like a mistress, even though there isn't another woman or another man. But it creates this sense of, oh, it's gonna happen eventually, like how when girls were the mistress, like, oh, he's gonna leave his wife, like, and it's gonna be okay. We're gonna have a great life. He loves me. It's kind of like that situation, except not as. I don't think it's manipulative. I think it's just genuinely based off of the fear.
Yeah.
But there's real love between them, I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm just really hot in here.
Yeah, it's a little hot in here.
Doing well. I'm just really enjoying the show. I wish we could do the final 2 episodes right now, but we'll do them soon. Don't worry. On a more serious note, what is your understanding of the characters' inner worlds? I would say I'm gonna definitely recycle a few things that Aaron pointed out, but definitely fear is a main theme that I was getting, and I understand why. Like, we've talked about this before. They are in a place where if you come out, there is a possibility of repercussion, whether it comes from sponsorships, whether it comes from your team. We don't know what the possibility of what could happen. I personally don't think anything should happen because it's not a big deal. Yeah. But we don't, and I understand why they are afraid to do these things. And I would say also too, pressure when it comes to with Shane, when it comes to with Ilya, when it comes to with Hunter. And I'll start off with Ilya. Pressure not only from that his father has instilled in him, just from probably as a little kid, and then also his brother, but also pressure to make sure, because his dad's also ill with dementia, he's got to make sure that he takes care of him. So the money's got to come in. So he's got to do good pressure as a professional athlete is just hard in general. But then when you got the pressure on your family, mooching off you to do well, and then also you got to take care of your sick father, that's pressure in itself. Also, he's the captain of his team, right? I think all 3 of them are the captains on their team, right? Hunter, Ilya, and Shane. So there's also that pressure. You got to lead by example, right? You got to be the masculine one and then the one in charge. So there's all different types of pressure. And then, he's when it comes to Shane, I think there's also there's there's more of that fear as well of just wanting to be true to yourself and then worrying about what others are going to perceive of you when it comes to letting yourself out. And so that's what I would say when it comes to and we saw that as well with Hunter in episode 3. And when it comes to Kip, just going off what you were saying, I think we did hear that line too. I think it was I think your dad thinks you're hooking up with a married man or something. And it almost does feel like that for him because he can't even tell his father. And I think his father's a diehard hockey fan too. So, and it has nothing to even do with that. I mean, he just wants to tell the world like how in love he is, and I get it. I understand that. And we also have to understand too that, he doesn't have as much to lose, which sucks too in terms of for the other three. That if it came out that he was in love with Hunter, there's not going to be repercussions for him as an individual because he works at a smoothie bar and nothing's going to happen. So that's the world we live in, and it's sometimes I don't get these types of things and I don't understand, but that's what I would say in terms of the driving emotions and what are they trying to achieve. I think what I and most others are trying to achieve, being true to yourself, and being happy, finding love, and that's what I would say. I know that's the simplistic answer, not going like too deep, but I mean that's what it seems like. What I'm watching, what they are trying to do, and to grow and evolve, and that's what I would say. But do you have any final thoughts before we skedaddle out of here?
No, I'm enjoying the show. I think it's been really engaging, really well shot, really well acted, and I look forward to seeing the final 2 episodes of season 1.
Ditto. All right, well, guys, let us know in the comment section what did you think of episodes 3 and 4, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. We will be back for episodes 5 and 6. I believe those are the final 2 episodes of season 1 of Heated Rivalry. So if you stuck with us this long, we appreciate and love you so much. Take care, and we will see you next time.